For a very long time, players have been wondering what to play against pawn to e5 with the white pieces. But the wait is over. The Fast and Furious Scotch Gambit by myself, International Master Alan-Safar Ramoutar, is going to be out very soon on Friday, the 16th of May on Chessable and chess.com. They didn't want it to come out. I had to bandage my nose after some chess hooligans attacked me and tried to steal the works of my book. But I managed to escape and put together the project. And soon you will be able to get these lines for yourself. What is the Scotch Gambit? So after e5, white plays knight to f3. And the most popular reply by black is knight to c6. And here in my course on Chessable and also offered on chess.com, I recommend pawn to d4. And black basically has no other choice. We here attacking the pawn on e5 and we open our light squared bishop. Now our both bishops are open. So this is a very principled and aggressive opening. After e takes d4. Now, instead of taking back with the knight, the Scotch Gambit is to move bishop to c4. And this is the whole idea of the course and the main starting position. And this is analyzed in depth. Now, pawn to e5 with black is one of the main responses against e4. So you better have something against e5. Now, this is no ordinary opening, and my course is no ordinary course. It is filled with novel ideas, a lot of surprise value, unique and rare directions, backed by the strongest computer analysis, and the sets unlimited traps and some unsolvable traps for humans for you, and all of this your opponent will have to solve. Now, to give you an idea of what is in the course, knight to f6 is the main line. Bishop to c5 is the second block. So these are the two biggest moves which are covered in the course. Other sidelines like bishop to b4, trying to give check to the king and win back the pawn. We are not afraid. We play pawn to c3 and we're ready to gambit another pawn. And this is analyzed in the course. Moves like bishop to e7 are dealt with. Moves like d6, very passive, also dealt with. We simply take back the pawn. After bishop to c5, I propose the move pawn to c3, which is an old gambit that I bring back to life with a very novel direction. First of all, black cannot take the pawn due to the tactic. Bishop captures f7. After king takes, queen d5 check, giving check to the king, and we're ready to win back his bishop on c5. So therefore, everyone with black plays here, knight to f6. And after we recapture on d4, black plays bishop to b4 check. And here our pawn on e4 is still hanging. However, this position has been taught to be a draw and nothing more. Everything has been solved for black. But I bring back a very old idea with a new direction, knight bd2. And the main idea of the course is after black takes our pawn, we're ready to gambit a pawn, but we play pawn to d5. And this pawn on d5 is going to serve as a bone in the throat of the black position, cramping all of his pieces. And just to show you a sample line, the main line goes, black tries to trade off more pieces, being down in space and up a pawn. And after all the pieces are traded, after knight to e7, pawn to h4 is the novel idea presented in the course. Now, players historically play this position with pawn to d6, simply trying to give back the pawn and double black's pawns. However, black would simply take, castle, push the pawn back to d5, and white had nothing. But after h4, we maintain the tension. This pawn is ready to go all the way. We're ready to castle queenside, play ideas like g4. And you see the pawn on d5 gives us a lot of space while black is still cramped. This is checked very well in the course. And going back, if instead of bishop c5, knight f6, I analyze the move e5, and there's a lot of great surprises waiting for black. We check out moves such as knight g4, knight e4, pawn to d5. Pawn to d5 is the main line. And after bishop b5, I will show you one novel idea presented in the course. So after knight e4, knight takes d4. So now we want to capture the knight on c6, and everyone used to play bishop to d7, simply defending the knight. Here, however, after bishop captures c6, b captures c6, we again castle. And here black has bishop e7 or bishop c5. The move pawn to c5 is playable, but it's not so good. So bishop to c5 is the main line. And now I want to show you the most interesting discovery, or in fact, I wouldn't label this the most interesting discovery because almost every discovery in this course is simply magnificent. f3, kicking the knight. So this is all well known. And after knight g5, we gain another tempo on the knight with f4. This is all well known in the Scotch. And we play bishop t3. And black players have been playing the move queen to b8 here, attacking b2. And the queen could perhaps come to b6 and come in the game through this route. And here, instead of defending the pawn or playing a move like knight c3, gambiting it this way, which is already well known and analyzed, and it's concluded that black is fine, I give the move queen to d3, a very rare move, which when I analyzed this course, it was played in less than 4 games. And one of the games was my games where I won against an international master. Ladies and gentlemen, the wait will be over soon. Friday, 16th of May, the Fast and Furious Scotch Gambit will now be available on both Chessable and chess.com. Be ready to bring your E4 game to the next level.